There's more vacant lots in the city of Detroit than there is land in Grand Rapids, which is the second largest city in Michigan. It's normal here in this community to hear gunshots. It's normal to see kids selling drugs. It's normal.
When you get so accustomed to seeing trash on the ground or buildings that are decaying, when you see people who are not working, who are not employed, that's really discouraging. People want desperately to see hope, but don't see a lot of hope.
How many of you hear gunshots on a regular basis?
She does.
They face having to walk to school 2 and 3 and 4 miles without having bus transportation.
Do you go outside at night? Walk around your neighborhood?
No.
Like, we carry like maps and stuff with us.
Some of the home situations, there's no running water. The pipe systems are messed up. Some of the situations when I go in the house, there's holes in their walls.
Have you ever seen any violent crime?
Me?
Yeah.
This dude came in our house. He started beating on me, my brother, and my grandma. He socked me and I flew to the wall.
They're faced sometimes that their mother sell her bridge card for crack, and so there's food not provided for them.
Have any of you witnessed someone getting killed?
Oh, me.
Mom.
They face being asked whether or not you want to sell drugs. They're faced being hit on.
How many of you see your dads?
He'll usually be at his house in New York, or he'll be here in Detroit.
He has a wife. I have, I think, 4 sisters and 1 brother.
Ever since he took my sister away, which is sad, I never seen him more.
What happened to your dad?
He got shot. His friends supposed to have had his back, but his friends was the one that shot him or whatever.
The lack of African American males who's been responsible men who's taking care of their household. People just dropping babies, men just dropping babies. And so where's the fathers at? We cry for fathers in this community.
I think there's a lot of misconceptions that people who live here have brought their own fate upon themselves, that we all can just pick ourselves up by our own bootstraps, and if you just worked a little harder, then you could make it. And that's not true. There's forces that are much more strong at work here that do not allow people to just pull their bootstraps up.
When I think about the statistics in this particular community of high school graduates, it brings tears to my eyes that about 15% of our kids in this community graduate from high school. That the African American male population here, majority do not have a high school diploma. And for me to be an African American male, that brings tears to my eyes. Because where's the hope for us?
Tony McDuffie and Mark Van Andel live and work full-time in central Detroit, 4 blocks west of I-75. Their mission is to help young people become fully devoted followers of Christ who are empowered to be leaders in their communities through tutoring, Bible studies, financial literacy, and basic job skill training. They've dedicated their lives to building relationships in the community, face-to-face, meeting people where they are. Like John. John is among more than 150,000 school-aged children in Detroit. He's a 13-year-old 8th grader who lives in the central part of the city. The middle school John's been going to for the past 2 years recently closed, so now he travels twice as far to get to school every day.
So basically, when you get out of school, the school bus brings you here.
Yeah,
they drop you off, and then you have to walk another mile to get home.
Exactly.
And so in the middle of winter, January rolls around.
And that's going to be the worst part.
What's your grade point average?
My overall grade point average is a 3.78.
So do you like school?
I love school.
What do you struggle with?
Peer pressure. Basically. Like, people get me to fight, and I'm not like a fighting person, and they like get me to fight and stuff, and I just walk away. And then they say I'm a chicken or whatever. I'm like, you a chicken. You the one that wants somebody to fight. Where your cluckers? It's funny.
He is a well-rounded young man who is eager and destined to do something great.
When I grow up, I want to be a physician, which is also known as a doctor. I want to be 3 types of doctors. I want to be an anesthesiologist, a neurologist, and a radiologist. You have a good one.
You haven't seen your dad since you were 2.
And when I met him, when I did see him, he looked like a stranger to me. So I really didn't have no type of clue what he was, who he was.
Do you remember him at all?
Like, I have a picture that I look at from time to time, but I really don't talk to him, like talk to him. Last time I spoke to him was when I was 10 years old. And he said he's gonna do something with me on that Saturday, but he never called. Like, take me to the movies or something, but he never did. He never called.
Were you hoping that he was going to call you back?
I was, because I wanted to meet him, but he didn't. And I just said, oh well, skip it. And then I called him back, but he changed his number.
The lack of fathers in this community, they don't understand what it means to be a daddy. That's why we have parents, women on welfare, because no fathers are taking care of their kids. They're either in jail, or they're hanging out on the street, or they just don't understand there was no fathers in their life to show them how to be a father or to be a man and provide for their family. So that's what makes me sad when I think about this community, that there are lack of fathers here.
What kind of family are you going to have?
I want a wife, so I said between the range of 2 to 4 kids, and that was it. So a wife and 2 to 4 kids.
Why do you want to have kids?
Because they keep you young, and they bring happiness to you. Like, if I have a little girl, I'm gonna treat her like a little princess. She's gonna be a little princess and stuff. It's gonna be fun. That's what I think.
If I were to ask your kids someday, say, hey, tell me about your dad, John, what do you think they're gonna tell me?
Hopefully they'll tell you something good, like how I'm a good father, and I'm making to all their recitals and all their little graduations and things of that nature, and how I'm always there for them, and that I'm not a workaholic.
But if you haven't seen those things in your life from a dad, why do you want to be like that?
Because I want to make a difference in the world, and I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be different. I don't want to be one of those fathers who just have a baby and then they leave, and then they don't come back.
John has the stamina that I'm going to make it regardless of what people say, regardless of how they put me down, regardless of what my home situation may look like. Regardless, I'm going to be something great.
I love to play the piano. It's really fun. Like, I learned how to play pieces with 2 hands and stuff like that. It's fun, for real. So I started playing when I was about 8 or 9, and I've been playing ever since.
People seem to think that there's no hope in Detroit. And I see by the things that we do, this small organization, that we're providing hope and opportunities for people in this community.
I see people created by God who oftentimes don't get a chance to be who God created them to be because of things that are stacked against them. So to invest in the people who are here doing the work is critical, so that we can multiply ourselves into the lives of young people and adults here.
No. Well, next week, I need you to bring your homework here so we can work on it, okay? And when I look into the eyes of a child and I see the desperation and the hopelessness, that they can be able to come to a place and eat a meal that's provided for them. And I know that some only have 1 meal a day, and that's sometimes the meal that we give them.
It's much easier to say, I'm going to give you a pair of tennis shoes, and people need that. But they also need to be developed day in and day out so that 25 years from now, you still don't have to give them the pair of tennis shoes.
Why did I do what I do? It's because I may be the only Jesus that the kids may see. And whether that's giving a cup of water, whether that's supplying food, whether there's being a friend, whether there's building a relationship. I may be the only Jesus that they see.